Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, lived a handsome and kind king. Everyone loved him, but the real ruler was his wife, the queen. Before she became queen, she was a poor girl working in the castle kitchen, but she was beautiful, funny, and a whiz at Scrabble, so the king fell madly in love and married her. The king adored his queen, but she lived in constant fear that he would find someone more beautiful. Luckily, she had a magic mirror that saw and knew everything. Every day, she'd ask Magic Mirror on the wall, "Who is the most beautiful of all?" And the mirror always replied, "You are my queen. You are the most beautiful woman in the whole world." This made her happy, confident that no one could rival her beauty. But one day, everything changed. The queen asked her usual question, and the mirror replied, "You are very beautiful, my queen. But the most beautiful woman in the world is Snow White." The queen was shocked. "Who is this Snow White?" she demanded. The mirror explained, "Snow White works in the castle kitchen. She has hair as black as night, lips as red as roses, and skin as white as snow. As of 8 a.m. this morning, she is a wee bitty bit more beautiful than you." "Egg," yelled the queen. She stomped her feet, pulled her hair, and sobbed, "I will lose everything." Fear turned her heart cold and hard. She summoned a trusted hunter. "Find the girl, Snow White," she ordered. "Take her deep into the woods." Then she looked him straight in the eyes. She must never come back. The hunter found Snow White and led her into the forest. When they reached the deepest, darkest part, he stopped. "Go," he whispered. "Run fast and far, and don't ever go home." Snow White watched him disappear. "Well, I can't go home now," she muttered, looking around the dark, silent forest as rain began to fall. "But I can't stay here either. Okay, feet, let's go." Snow White ran and ran across a stream, up a hill, and down into a valley. By midday, her pale skin and rosy cheeks were covered in mud and scratches. By afternoon, her long black hair was full of sticks and leaves. By night, she was no longer beautiful. She was tired, hungry, and shivering. Then she smelled wood smoke. Following the scent, she found a little cottage. A warm golden light glowed from the windows. She knocked. "Hello, is anyone home?" Silence. She pushed the door open. Inside were 7 tiny beds, 7 tiny chairs, and a roaring fire. The table was covered with dirty dishes. Starving, she found some bread and ate the whole loaf, then found some milk and drank the whole bottle. She sat by the fire to get warm and instantly fell asleep. When she woke up, 7 dwarfs were standing around her. "Who are you?" she asked, rubbing her eyes. "This is our house," one dwarf said angrily. "Who are you?" "You'll scare her," said another. "She's a giant." "She scares me," said a third. "Can I stay with you?" Snow White asked. "It seems I can't go home." The dwarfs whispered among themselves. "Okay," they finally agreed. "But only if you help us wash the dishes. We hate washing dishes." "It's a deal," said Snow White. And so Snow White found a new home. Every morning she washed the dishes, and every morning as the dwarfs left for work, they'd say, "Be careful. Don't open the door for anyone, ... And thank you for washing the dishes. We really hate washing dishes." Back at the castle, the Queen was feeling better, thinking Snow White was gone forever. "Come and play Scrabble with me, my love," the King called from downstairs. "Maybe later, dearest," she replied, standing before her mirror. Magic mirror on the wall, who is the most beautiful of all? The mirror replied, "You are very beautiful, my queen. But the girl Snow White is the most beautiful woman in the world." "Snow White is alive," shouted the queen. "She is living with the 7 dwarfs in the forest," said the mirror. "Last night she was not very beautiful, but as of 1 p.m. today, she is more beautiful than you." "Rats," yelled the queen. She grabbed an old coat and boots. "I'll have to kill her myself." She jumped into her fastest carriage and sped towards the forest. Snow White was reading by the fire when there was a knock-knock, knock. She peeked out the window and saw a woman holding a basket of fruit. The woman had a beautiful face but wore old clothes. Fruit, fresh fruit, apples and bananas and pears and oranges. "Oh, I want some fruit," Snow White thought. The woman saw her. "Hello, dear, do you want some fruit? I have delicious apples today." "I love apples," said Snow White, "but I'm not supposed to open the door. Those apples might be poisoned." "Oh, how silly," said the woman. She cut an apple in half. "Here you can taste half, and I will eat the other half. That way you know it's not poisoned." Snow White opened the door. The woman gave her 1/2 and ate the other. Seeing the woman enjoy the juicy apple, Snow White couldn't stop herself. She took a big bite. Almost immediately, she fell to the ground. The apple was poisoned, but only on 1/2. The queen sighed with relief and raced back to the castle. When the dwarfs arrived home, they found Snow White on the floor. They yelled, they tickled her feet, they poured cold water on her face, but she didn't wake up. "Is she ... dead?" asked one. "She doesn't seem to be alive," said another. So the dwarfs made a glass coffin for their friend, setting it in a beautiful part of the forest, surrounded by flowers. Snow White lay there for over a year, through spring, summer, autumn, and winter. One day, a prince walking his dog saw the strange glass coffin. He brushed off the leaves and saw Snow White. Just then, he tripped over his dog and knocked the coffin off the table. Snow White rolled out onto the grass. "Oh no, oh dear, oh ... Fifth fiddlesticks," the prince shouted. But then, an amazing thing happened. The piece of poisoned apple stuck in Snow White's throat fell out, and she began to cough. The prince rushed to help her. "Apples," she coughed. "I beg your pardon," said the prince. "No ... more ... apples." That night, the queen asked her mirror again, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the most beautiful of all?" To her surprise, it said, You are very beautiful, my queen. But Snow White is again the most beautiful woman in the world, whereat screamed the queen. In a rage, she threw a shoe at the mirror, smashing it into 1,000 pieces. The magic was released. No, the queen screamed as she collapsed into a deep sleep. She dreamed she was dancing in hot iron shoes, her feet burning, unable to stop. When she woke up, the sun was shining. She felt different. The mirror's spell was broken. She wasn't anxious or jealous anymore. She felt free. She went downstairs to find her husband, ready for a game of Scrabble. And what about Snow White? The dwarfs were overjoyed to see her alive. They invited the prince for dinner. When he learned that nobody liked washing dishes, he bought them a dishwasher. And everyone lived happily ever after. Thanks for listening to this fairy tale adventure. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for more stories.